respect for your covenant. For the dark places of the earth are full of habitations of cruelty. Some of the things that have happened in your life, you think they just happened. Sometimes they were demonically engineered. But today we call on the God of the armies of the heavens and the earth. Because you came here today, as I sound this alarm, I will blow this trumpet. And as I blow, you're going to say, let God arise. Arise in Nigeria. Let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end. When you hear the sound of the trumpet, you will hold on, let God arise.
The chances of you as Christian going to heaven is solely dependent on the kind of marriage you'd have. As a matter of fact, it's even simple. Gaining chances of going to heaven as a single person than being married. It's an institution that we mostly do not want to give attention to. We only give attention when it's wedding. That is where on social media you see people going for a whole lot of bouquets, gowns, a gown that would have a length of about 30 meters, expecting 300 people to be holding it. That is the only moment we plan. But that becomes an event. And it lasts for just 3 hours, at most 3 hours. The reality sets in after 3 hours. And so when I was having my wedding, I asked my brother, this kiss your bride something, I didn't even do it. It's a serious business. It is no kiss your bride matter. I have tasted single life. I have tasted relationship life. And I am tasting marriage. The three are different. Trust me. Most often than not, when we talk of relationship, the only thing that comes to mind is sex. And so I can be bold to conclude that most of us seated here are waiting for sex talk. And that we are waiting for positions. Also for how would I position myself for it. In fact, relationship talk goes beyond sex. It is actually a life education. There are great men of God who are suffering in their relationship. It is not about prayers. Hello? If you think you can stand on the park and pray for 10 hours and so God is going to save your marriage, it's a lie. You probably might have been talking to God directly like he did with Moses. And when your relationship is suffer, God will never save you. You remember the Nigerian woman, the one who sang that song, that powerful song. Ekueme, good. Where is she? As a result of abusive marriage. She sang the Ekueme or what have you. When we are singing, the Holy Spirit comes for us, isn't it? We will be falling under the Holy Spirit. Meanwhile, the person who sang the song is being abused in a marriage. Didn't God see? God saw it. But he allowed Ekueme to die. You are not different from Ekueme. If you don't start right, you get it wrong. Today, I have titled the series as Setting the Fundamentals Right. Setting the fundamentals right. There are certain principles that as youth, we ought to follow in order for us to enjoy a successful relationship leading to a successful marriage. One day I went to Kofodia Technical University to give a talk. Let me start with this. After a point, I'll pause for a while and then questions will be given. And subsequent answers will be also given out. But let me start with this question a certain youth asked. The question was, also for the way you are starting, no, does it mean that we shouldn't test when we find our lover? Must we not test? I am sure some of you will be asking this question. So let me answer it before you ask. So you change that question, and then you give a new question. Must we not test? Because it's marriage. It's a long-lasting something. I don't know the person. The person doesn't know me. So can't we test? Let us test so that if I like it big, and the seriousness part of it, as of all, is it life? So that I become very circumspect with what I say. We are live, eh? Okay. So I would actually, massage my choice of words. Had it not been live, I would have said something. But it's live, so let me massage it. The girl that asked the question, it's a little girl. Very little. And then he was like, so what if I want it big? And then finally, I got something small. How would I manage? Somebody little asking for something big. I don't know. Whether the little people want big things and the big people want small things, I don't know. Maybe you can answer it yourself. But the Bible said what he's created were perfect and good, isn't it? He realized that what he has created were perfect and good. So why would you want to test something that is perfect? You don't trust God again. God said it is perfect. So by faith, it is perfect. As a matter of fact, the journey of marriage has nothing to do with sex. Sex is just a minute component of it, I am telling you. I am in it. At some point, my wife will just be beside me. Let me tell you, for about 3 months, I haven't touched her. You are shocked. Yeah, she sleeps by me always. We sleep naked, though. You are sleeping and then you'll be wearing some. It's naked. It's naked. Marriage is a serious business. It's not about those fantasies that you'll be thinking about. Some of you, your choices for going in for a boyfriend and a girlfriend are mostly clouded with fantasies. Things that are not real. 6 packs. I watched social media and then there was this guy, I don't know whether you've also come across that, whether it's an interview or something like that. She was asked the kind of man she wants to move out with. And according to her, a red flag in a guy is someone who speaks Twi. Have you seen it? And so I asked myself, assuming you are dating this girl, right from the get-go, she's very mature and you suffer. She may be beautiful. She may have the ass. She may have the bobs or the booms, whatever you want to call it. But she is immature. Once you marry her, it is then that after you are planning for maybe a project, you give her money. She will go to Kaneshi, and on the way, she will see Brazilian hair, Nigerian hair, what have you, don't call me. She'll buy selection. You come home and they ask, na sikana me de ma for project no. Eh, me se me ba no. Kaneshi kwanso we dey don't call me. Nti me to be 5. Because me nyenya sika, unya sika we. Oh, sika na e dan ni sika no. Na dan ni sika na da koto yi no. E dey don't call me man try be fa me ho akọ. You see? At that time, a to no e be yira. Right in front of you, a to no be yira. Are you get what I'm saying? 6 packs, it would go. That nice face, it would go. Ask my brother, my wife is very beautiful, very, very beautiful. But sometimes, I don't even consider the beauty. I consider what is here. Most often than not, you know me, there are two things that move me in the world. It's either football or politics. And so I'll just be watching TV. And when she comes home, she doesn't enjoy these two that I want. She loves Antenna. You know Antenna? You don't know Antenna? Oh, that program. That program that consists of this concern, they always want to settle marriage matter. Yes. Somebody did something to somebody and then it's gone to Antenna instead of the judiciary. She enjoys watching Antenna. I don't like that. I know where I keep my remote. I'll go there and then the remote is not there. You go to the TV and then it is changed from DSTV to Antenna. At that time, I don't even ask for the remote. Because at that very moment, the TV is hacked. And so, I would have no choice than to join her watch Antenna. And the annoying part of it is that when you are watching, I would prefer to watch, keep quiet. But I know she expects me to share my opinion on somebody's problem. Which opinion again? And you know, women are very smart in a way that they have taken a certain position already. She's just asking me so that if by mistake I don't take the position she has taken, she will conclude. And so she asks me, Nana, we are doing saying, no, can be. I mean, can be saying, and today, mine and a year. Now, so now, why would mine why they was 1 yard. I'm saying, mine 1 yard. I'll just have to agree. Because if you say, oh, Obana yard, just as now, they will just conclude. So you have to be very smart. And so there are 4 fundamentals that I want us to walk through them. So that by the time we leave here, I'm sure most of you are into relationships, right? Most of you. Some of you, yours are fantasies. It is not a relationship. It can end at any point in time. As a matter of fact, we shall even end it here so that you become serious in life. And then some of you too, those that are serious, you would have a way of making it more right going forward. As I am talking, I will be repeating some words, some statements, and some phrases. The moment I repeat those, it means they are very important and that you need to take them seriously. So the first fundamental that an individual or as Christian youth you ought to take is character orientation. 1, character orientation. We are coming from different environments, different homes, different setups. Now, assuming God has given you 90 years to stay on earth, and then you got married at the age of 25. How many years do you have? 65, right? Good. And for the next 65 years, you have to stay in the same room with one person for the next 65 years. It is not a simple journey. In marriage, when marriage occurs, what happens is that you have literally taking off 50% of the right you enjoy as a human being. You've thrown it away. That is marriage. And so at home, you wake up as and when you feel like waking up. It's your right, isn't it? But in marriage, you don't wake up because you feel like waking up at that time. You wake up because marriage will wake you up. You get it? We don't say, I am tired. I went to work and I am tired. And so 50% of what you are enjoying is thrown away right away. your ability to make decisions, rational decisions, of course. You realize that you bring something on the table, to you, it seems very sensible, and that your partner shouldn't have said anything. But mind you, you have just 50% of what you have brought on the table. So your decision could be changed, regardless of whether it is sensible or non-sensible. It could be changed. That is marriage for you. And so it is very important you stick to the character of that person. Character is made up of two components. We have the religious part and the cultural part. And with character, we have behavior plus attitude equals character. Hello? And so we have behavior. A behavior is a reaction to an action taken against you. And so, for example, I approached this woman of God, I did something, and out of that, she responded. That doesn't define her character. It is her behavior. But if she repeats what I did to her or her response continuously for a period of time, it becomes her attitude. I'm sure you're getting it. And so the behavior is just a reaction she actually gave after an action was taken against her. And the repetitiveness of an action against you becomes an attitude. And that defines your character. And character is your personality, who you really are. Some of you've made life pledges that the guy that broke my virginity becomes the guy I would want to marry. And that successfully, the guy has broken the virginity. And you want to cling to your life pledge, neglecting all the red flags that this guy is showing you. The guy speaks very abusive. But then to you, because he has broken your virginity, and then you have made a certain life pledge for yourself, you wish to stay than to break away. Let me tell you, it is good to break your relationship than to break your marriage. No matter how many times you have gone into a relationship, if you have some red flags, I beg, move out. Because if you don't take care, you end up losing your life, losing your salvation, than trying to please someone or a certain life pledge you have made for yourself. Cultural behavior or character. The person is a gang. The person is a Santi. The person is an Ewe. These individuals have peculiar character they exhibit. A gang person mostly is loud. And that they do not want to allow you just, detect for them and then go scot-free. The gangs, it be true. You can't just dictate, throw anything at her or at him and expect, yes, Amasa. No. The person will respond in gang. Kwe. Once they start with a kwe, it means that problem comes. You get it? And so, her cultural background defines her character. So you are dating a gang, and then you want to suppress him or her. It can never happen. So if you know it's a guy you want to date, try and limit your ability of being a man. You are dating an Ashanti man. Ashanti man, even if the thing was bought at 5 cedis, he bought the same thing with you with the same price. He will make you buy the same thing with you at the same price. Feels that what he bought is 10 cedis and yours is 5 cedis. He brags about it. That sort of talk. And so if this is the kind of guy you are dating, it would surprise you that every money you people will get, he will go to Kantaman to go and buy clothes, stock his wardrobe, allow you to continue renting than building. Because they always want to look attractive to people. So if you are dating a certain Ashanti, and then he's worked for the past years, and then he got nothing in the accounts, you should know where they are coming from. They love to appear good than to have a fat bank account. And then the religious part of it. You want to get married to a man of God. You want attention. Sometimes I study my brother, and he doesn't have time. Monday he's praying. Tuesday he's praying. Wednesday he's praying. Also for you, man. Monday he's praying. Tuesday continuously for it's a routine. He doesn't eat, he prays. And so assuming you want to get married to a man of God of his nature, the attention will be less. They rather give the attention outside. They engage people, praying for people. And so you are dating Osofo. Osofo is saying he sleeps on the park, isn't it? At that time, he is sleeping at the park, and you want him in the bedroom. My sister, follow him to the park, you. Follow him. Sometimes they leave home for over a week, 2 weeks, and then they are not home. And so, if you are getting married to a man of God, manage the time well. I don't know whichever person you are dating, but if that person has the intention of becoming a man of God someday, it means that the person has started. Now, and I say, Madam Obebo, umped your bompire, those who don't pray, there are lots. But if you want that Anna, also for you, how do you call her? Lady pastor, right? Okay, whichever name. And then mommy, and then we give you seats. Mommy comes with a responsibility. Character. Naturally, men are born or grow up to naturally understand men. The order of nature. Women naturally grow to understand women. The cross-cutting of it becomes a problem. And so, as a woman, she understands herself and understands her fellow woman. And a man also understands himself and understands his fellow man. So it takes character orientation to be able to understand some decisions that your boyfriend is making that you don't understand. The Bible said he caused a deep sleep unto man, right? And out of that, he took rape and then created a woman. Now, causing of the deep sleep here is telling you that in the absence of the kind of person you want to get married to, you are oblivious of the kind of person you want to get married to. And so you have to take time to study the person. That is why Adam started accusing God. Adam, where are you? The woman you gave me. He started accusing God. Probably he didn't want it. God said, for it is not good for a man to live alone. Being alone and then being lonely, they are different. Being alone means you don't have people around you. Being lonely here means you may have people around you, but a companionship becomes a problem. And a companionship is not only gotten from human beings. We can even get companionship from our phones. And so there are people 24/7, they are clinging to their phone, to their television, to whichever thing that keeps them company. Probably Adam said he had the tiger, the lions, the birds to have been playing with. And then God said, no, I'll give you Eve. You made me sleep. Eve came. When I woke up, I saw Eve. Yeah, I'm your wife. So, okay. Then we are moving together. So Adam never had the opportunity to know who Eve was. They started moving. The kind of guy you are having is coming from somewhere. You are coming from somewhere. How well do you people have same dream? Your dream. Where is he going to? Where are you going to? You are saying A, and the person is saying J. How would a person move from J to come to A? So it is not about the beauty, it's not about the height. I don't know why women are too concerned about the height of a man. If we are to ask you, most of you will say, I want a TikTok. They add adjective TikTok. I don't know. You know, sense and height, they are not synonymous. You may have a TikTok, a giant, who is as foolish as someone. The same thing, you may have a certain David Good, a certain Zacchaeus, who may be sensible. And so being sensible is not only the characteristic of a tall person. It cuts across. So why are you too concerned about the height of the person? The person approached you, you look up, you look down, and be like, I don't know what you do with the height. After that event, that is the wedding, and you go home. Do you know that there are people whose marriage starts collapsing? At that very day, Osofo pronounced them husband and wife. There's this friend of mine. The marriage started collapsing at that very time. Why? Because when Osofo pronounced them husband and wife, the auditorium was such that there are a lot of pathways. You can pass here, you can pass here, you can pass here. Now, according to the girl or the wife of this friend, she wanted to take a certain route to go and meet those, secondary school people just to have a talk with. And then the husband said, oh, let's pass here. So the let's pass here, the let's pass here, no, keke no. So they went inside and Obani said, oh, you, today, it is light off for you. Hey! Yes. Just that very time. And since then, they have been quarreling about that light off. That came that time. Yes. And so, the kind of man you are dating now, the kind of woman you are dating now, in fact, I'll make it brief, so that you would allow questions and answers. The kind of man you are dating now is as important as your life. The kind of woman you are dating now is as important as your life. And I am repeating that no matter how spiritual you are, no matter how prayerful you are, no matter the length of vision you can have, if you don't start it right, God will never end it right for you. You will suffer in your marriage. And you might think God doesn't exist. I beg, God exists. He's not existing in your marriage. Because most of our choices, we pick them from the roadside and then we present to God. Is that not it? Yes, most of our choices. When you were praying, don't tell me God told you that going for a TikTok man. He never said that. You rather presented a TikTok sort of topic to God. God, I want a TikTok man. Oh, I want a TikTok man. And the short man passed. No, this is not from God. God, I want a TikTok man. Yes. And suddenly, a TikTok came. Yes, God has answered my prayer. And so at the back of our minds, it is being preoccupied by certain characteristic. And so once the person comes and the person possesses that characteristic, we presume that this is from God. And right away, without thinking twice, we go in for that person. You want to tell me Duncan Williams never prayed concerning his marriage? You want to tell me he didn't pray? You know him, right? You know he's divorced. Yeah. He prayed. So what happened? Character orientation. When you are dating, there are some red flags you yourself you know. The man is very authoritative. His yes is his yes. His no is his no. No matter what you do, the yes still remains yes. Even after 10 years, it is still yes. And this is the kind of person you are going in for. You're a woman of God. You need time for God's work. You need time for camps like this. The guy is at home. He's waiting for you. You are here. You go and meet him. Because he doesn't allow it. You want to go for prayer meetings, and then the guy has problem. You want to attend to a fellowship, and then he has problem. You want to see people to pray for, and then he has problem. And then you are saying just because the guy has broken a certain so-called virginity, you still have to overlook all these and get married to that person. Go ahead. God bless you. But the reality will set in. I'm telling you, the platform for marriage is not child's play. If you like, and we will come there. But before we come there, go and ask your mom. You think as your mom being happy, always, laughing with you always. No, she's not laughing because she's enjoying the marriage. She's laughing because she has you. Then the moment you leave home, your mom starts crying. She starts weeping. How well do you know your boyfriend? It goes beyond the color, the complexion. He is fair. He's hairy. He has flat tummy. 6 packs. All of them will vanish. Planning about life has nothing to do with 6 packs. I don't know where cement factory is being bought with 6 packs. You go to a cement factory, I want to buy cement for a building, and then it says, yes, if your boyfriend has 6 packs, come and pack 10. It doesn't come like that. It comes with critical planning with your boyfriend or your husband. And if the husband or the boyfriend that you want to plan anything with him, and then right away, he throws you off gear. He's not interested in any planning. He has his own plan. And then you are saying, still, he has broken my virginity. Listen, when we were going for our counseling, these counselors, after my marriage, I told my Osofo that, no, you people, you are not doing as good. He said, why? I said, yes. The extent of Christian marriages collapsing is as a result of this Osofo as counselors we have. When you go there, it is theoretical counseling. One day I was there, he's giving us assignment. So we were trying to do the assignment today. My wife calls. Nana waye. And so they menye or say how menye buku no. I'm say, oh nya buku eh. So madam Lodi. Hey. And I'm say you chapter or you chapter 4. You got chapter 8. You I think you do chapter 4. I'm say, hey. And you go 3 months. I die in the chapter 4 up to chapter 8. And so when we sat in front of the counselor, any question he asked, we are able to answer it correctly. So the counselor said, yes, you are learning. He doesn't know we have a pop. We don't go and learn anything. So he says it, and then we go home, and then my wife will just WhatsApp me with it. And in we are AB, we see yes, we have Apo. So our marriage was Apo marriage. So assuming we never learned anything before our marriage, we would have suffered. Because it is pure theoretical. Character orientation. Boys are boys, Girls are girls. Our understanding of love is different from how girls understand their love. We understand love based on the level of respect you give us. And so if I come home and then my wife respects me, I feel that my wife loves me. And then how a woman understands love is your level of gifts you buy for her. Girls, not lie. And so when the boyfriend buys you something, and then even if he has slapped you the day before, oh, your boyfriend, oh, thank you. Your boyfriend, oh, do me, how? Forgetting the slap. And so our understanding of love is even different. And so if I happen to be an Ashanti man, for me to be able to know that my wife loves me is her ability to be cooking fufu every day for me. So if she is able to prepare fufu every day for me, I appreciate my wife loves me. Study the kind of boyfriend, the girlfriend you are having. And then those of us who are about approaching it, do not make any life pledge. As a matter of fact, I am not encouraging you having sex, because romance even distorts your focus. Romance, it distorts your focus. The person did something to you, and then just because of the romance, you have forgotten that you even asked him. So after the romance, you go and be, make us say, me refi, or don't me refi. Character orientation. The second point, a platform for friendship. A platform for friendship. It is very important we start our relationship journey as friends. You know why? Being a friend helps in that free flow of communication. You realize that there are some secrets that your friends know that your brother doesn't know. You are free to share your secrets with your friend, isn't it? If all your friends announce that they want to betray you, you are dead. The kind of secret they will tell your mom, your brother doesn't know, your sister doesn't know, but your friend knows. You know, there's this particular friend that you always want to share everything with. And so that platform for friendship helps provide communication skills. If you don't start as friends, this is your level of communication. Hi, how are you? Have you eaten? How was your day? What are you doing? 5, Asan. Hi, how are you? What are you doing? Have you eaten? How was your day? Once these questions are answered, now Papa will park in the car. How does it concern you? In a mind, how does that concern you? Why? Because you don't have that communication skills. We don't buy communication skills from Kaneshi. We build it. It is only built through friendship. You realize that he's your friend. For about 1 hour, 2 hours you've been talking. You haven't said anything sensible, but then he's still enjoying your communication, isn't it? Yes. There are these friends that when we meet, we literally do not have any topic. But by the time we end, we might have spoken about 5 topics. That is the skills. And so you begin as friends. Friends, you're able to know your secret. You know, when we are friends, when we meet, we mostly do not want to respect ourselves. You know, we just want to do things in our own, level of freedom. When boys meet, we understand ourselves. When girls meet, they understand themselves, what they do. But when the moment you begin the relationship as a boyfriend, girlfriend, at all times, the person approaches you with some level of gentility. You are going for a program, you think your boyfriend is going full over there. But when he's your friend, it is then that you, and so, if you still want him, then be ready to be listening to Kokonsa always. Because of Kokonsa, during your friendship, he exhibited those characters for you to see. But once you begin as friends, and so here, maybe some of you are eyeing people here. Start as friends. So you meet and also for, I'm interested in you. I want to date you. You know? You actually didn't give room for that friendship. And so it will be more of gentle lady. But when you should get married, that gentle lady is going to change. You are sleeping with him, you are sleeping with her in the same room for 60 years. My wife was cooking okra. Now, she has a certain style of preparing her okra. I don't like it. So I really do not enjoy that style. And you know, girls also have this issue with them, that if they should sacrifice and prepare food for you, and you don't eat, how would I tell her that? How will I tell her? Because anytime I'll go to the kitchen, she will be sweating. At some point, I have to even, pick my handkerchief and just be cleaning her face. All because of me. And they go, hey, serious. How do I tell her that, Jack, I have my style of okra? Because I've lived with my parents for 25 years. I started enjoying that okra at the age of 5, 3 or something. So for 25 years, I've enjoyed that okra, and then you want to change it within just 30 minutes. I won't like it. And so I went to her, and then this is how I approached it. I went to her, and they'll be like, oh, I go to her. Okra, said they all prepare our check. Me who say I bread too much. I am home at me person be breast. Unim. Me was simple we be am prepare me there. I won't check. Oh, no problem. Any chere me. Na me yen sama. That is how she started preparing how I love my okra. So she changed her style. But me there no enye short sounds who ewa papa. But I wisely dragged her to prepare, just to tell her that, oh dear, do what I want. You get it? And so during that platform for friendship, you would actually study some behaviors that if it had started as dating, that person wouldn't have revealed that behavior to you. But once it is friend, she will do that unconsciously. And then you take note of it. If indeed you want to have something to do with that person. But let me also tell you, and your friend be also na a bit more successful or married you. I have this lady friend. Every day I thank God for not marrying her. And so when I see her, I'll be like, I thank God for not marrying you. Why? Because when we meet, so I was wondering how we could have raised our kids. But then what the friendship does is that during friendship, you are able to see how supportive that person is. There's this friend that you have. The moment you have problem, he's the person you call. And right away, answer will come. Help will come. Me now for you realize that you're now for one line up. Charles, James, John. I would do. You have Awudu or as part of your friends. They be my friend John. Hey John, tell me watch him say and say, oh, which account? Accounts. And then among the same list of friends, there's this guy. Oh, tell me watch him you like or boa or whom from Megum. And so if that person whom from Megum has 6 sparks, and then you are choosing because of 6 sparks, madam, that person will never support you. The person wouldn't support you. When you build the relationship from friendship, it helps you to be able to identify the kind of family the person comes from. Some are breadwinners. At their age, they are breadwinners. And then you are fortunate to come from a family where your daddy is a CEO. Your mom is a general manager. At the end of the month, they take in, as a matter of, they pay themselves. To the extent that they even give you an allowance for being a daughter. You get it? And then the boyfriend that you have, at his age, the boyfriend is a breadwinner. The moment the month ends, clearing, part of the salaries have already visited village. You get it? He has a big sister he's taken care of at the university. You don't expect this guy to buy you wigs. During that friendship, you know the kind of burden the person has. If you don't want any burden, watch your homework. Say they be acquired them and they be able to so na can 2 million. Yes. Able to know it. Now that he started as dating. And so you wouldn't even know the burden of the guy with respect to the kind of family he comes from. And so you ask the guy something and then the guy is unable to provide, and conclusively you say the guy is stingy. He is not stingy. The burden on him is too much. However, if you feel you can help because you're coming from a well-to-do home, it is the reason God created us differently. You are coming from a different home where you are even paid an allowance, like I said, for being a daughter. You help. But when finally this relationship, which I don't encourage, the guy is stingy from the relationship. And according to you, he will change. When he marries you, let me tell you, the things you are seeing in your relationship, they become amplified when you marry. It comes 10 times. Marriage is reality. You don't play over there. And so, the person is stingy. The only thing he buys for you is that when you met him somewhere and then he bought you Coke. That is it. Even without Coke, that's a Coke program. You know, not like being a Coke with Bakubi, a basic table so now no more. He doesn't buy anything for you. Do not pray to God. Don't bring this prayer point here. God will never change. He can't even change. He can't change that person for you. Because from creation, the Bible said he gave every man the choices. Is that not it? Otherwise, he could have stopped Eve from having access to the apple. So that by this time, you'll be having lions, tigers, snakes as our friends. But he left it. And so God is very particular about choices. So you saw a certain character of that person, a certain behavior of that person. Through that friendship, and then you are saying that I am praying to God, I am taking that person to Atria Mountains. You go there and spend how many years? Trust me, the person will reduce the behavior. But once the person gets hold of you in marriage, that is where the actual behavior in 10 times comes up. Marriage, we don't hide anything. There's nothing like secret. You are living with that person for 60 years. Hello, there's nothing like secret. If you're unfortunate and then God is giving you 120, you are dead. build a certain friendship with that person. Do not rush through. And the third one is self-seeking counseling. Self-seeking counseling. And sometimes among your friends, there are others who are married. There are others who have been in a relationship for a certain number of years. And then you are upcoming relationship person. Approach this person. There is this, should I say a friend or man I have as a friend. I was seeking counseling kakakakra from him. The man is married for almost 10 years. And the man said, Sammy, look, do not marry because you think your wife is a nurse or is a doctor. So to see that, at the end of the month, doctor dear, send you the sika beto accounts in him, into many chop money. Sika beba. I took it lightly until I got married. My wife is a nurse. In fact, at the end of the month, unless I decide to take the money I hid in my wardrobe, she will take everything, including buying of sanitary part. Yes, because the father was taking care of her. And then as foolishly as I was, I said that I jai. Yes. The father was buying sanitary part. Was he not buying? He was buying. And then I'm saying, me the Then they told you to a sanitary part. And so when you seek self-counseling, there are some answers you get. Listen, in marriage, every now and then, every new day presents new troubles. You don't solve problems in marriage completely. That is why it is too shocking to see that people married for 15 years are still running to the court for divorce. You ask yourself, why 15 years? The person wants a divorce. 15 years old. And so every now and then challenges will come. But then when you seek self-counseling, some of these challenges, right from the tip, you would have some answers to them. Why is it that my wife behaves this way? Oh, to argue, so once then you have answers to it that, oh, whenever she behaves this way, I conclude that so do not go and ask Obama why she behaves that way, or your bar Are you on the same page? And so ask questions from people in your church. Not that 6, 4, 5 months counseling that is given. I am saying that is theory. It doesn't come with any practical things. It is not real. When you enter into marriage, those things that you're reading about, now the reality has set in. You know, during self-seeking counseling, as a woman, you'll be taught how to keep yourself. You know, you realize that when you were in a relationship, when you were dating the person, you always appeared nice, neat, and if you like, sexy. And the person got married to you. And you want to turn the whole room into Kaneshi. What is wrong with you? Gradually, you are allowing your man to be out. Always be presentable to him. But then again, whoever is a womanizer is a womanizer. No amount of presentation you make, that will keep him at home. And so you might have known all this from the first 2 points I have said. If the guy is a womanizer, you see, you are working with him and then a lady passes and then suddenly he wants to turn and then look at something. Mami, otu here, otono, flat ya, so be careful. So once in your marriage, in your relationship, you observe all those. So during the counseling stage, you be taught all this. Sometimes you shouldn't be, more very opinionated. Everything. Just what you're doing. We are all tired. We went to work. We closed at 5. Due to Kaneshi traffic, we got home at 7. We do buy another TV remote. Now one on the uncle for Manchester in reasonably, we are all tired. And that you should support her in cooking. During that friendship, the person will reveal that support to you. Before I got married to my wife, I hate washing with my hand. I hate it. So whenever she's washing with her hand, I'll be like, so I said, no. Then I would have to get her a washing machine. So the moment you got married, and then the washing machine appeared. Jack, this is it. I don't want you to be stressing yourself. And you be stressing, sir. David, we use washing machine. She's okay. Because me, I need to see me. So I feel it whenever I share. When you marry, like I'm saying, be boss. You understand? She would have to be going around and be picking all of them. And then Saturdays now, then she'll still have to go to the bathhouse and they'll be washing. And I'll be watching Man United. And on top of it all, they will break my heart. Self-seeking orientation. And possibly the last one, capacity building. Capacity building. It is very important. Capacity building. It is the process of developing and strengthening your skills, instincts, abilities in order to make progress in your life or in something. It is the process of developing and strengthening skills, instincts, abilities in order to make progress in yourself or in something. Simply put, capacity is what you are capable of doing. That is why you could hear most guys or most men say, what do you bring to the table? We are just talking about capacity building. How well have you built yourself? You just completed SHS. And all what you are thinking of is dating. You become a burden. In fact, your level of being a burden suppresses the level of love the guy has for you. The guy may love you, but then because you are too much of a burden, he has actually suppresses the kind of love the person has for you. Genuinely, the guy may love you, but then the guy is also thinking aloud. So you call the guy, and the guy is saying, I am busy. I'll call you. Foolish excuse, and then he hangs up. Because you're a burden. And so, as you are here, nicely and neatly dressed, you have something you are doing. If it is school you are pursuing, go to school. Become somebody. So that when the guy approaches you, the guy would approach you with some level of respect. You are a burden. Do it. Sometimes I engage my students and I ask them, you're looking at your future. Oh, yes. And that is what teachers should do. Looking at a certain background somebody is coming from. If that person should pursue education, trust me, Adrian may be readily available to learn, but then education is not only about Adrian, it's the availability of the resources. Mommy doesn't have, daddy doesn't have, our family doesn't have. And then you want to pursue medicine. Look through who among the community should pay for your medical fees. Who? Nobody. And so attach skills. Attach skills. Obetimi abutiri. Obetimi makeup. I engaged one of my girls and then she said, "Oh, say me makeup artist." I didn't even know artist is attached to makeup. Me makeup artist and so then so say, "Oh, so you're artist?" Oh, okay, I didn't know. I said, then that is nice. So when you go, just get a mobile phone. After you've had all your makeup resources, get a mobile phone and then get that ring light also. So when you're doing, you're just recording. You're just recording. Get a TikTok account. This videos, cut them, put them on social media. Once you're good to go. There's this person, the person who painted the Flagstaff house. The person just made his own paint, put it on social media. Then one day he was there and he got a call. This is Susu and Su, presidential staffer. Presidential staffer. Which presidential staffer? The president says he wants to see you. J. Kufuor style. He wants to see you. Master Flocko, President Ben, I want to see him. You can't get the hands up. Because one we are all. Then the call came again. Oh, Charlie, Kufuor sent me from Opesu whom? Hey, are you serious? Okay, this is where I stay. Papa. The next morning, a convoy of V8 landed at his place, coming to pick him to Kufuor's residence. Hey, what have I done? He went there, then Kufuor said, I saw your painting on social media. Can you do that for Flagstaff House? I said, yes, I can do. Are you sure? Are those painting your work? He said, yes, they are my work. Okay. Go and draft your budget. He said, I don't draft budget. The painting I'll be doing, I'll go to the house and then already the painter are there. Okay. Then let me get my statistics men to get closer to you, help you draft your budget. And then some of the painting, they had to fly overseas, abroad, to go and buy them. So for the very first time, he was flown from Ghana to go and just buy paint. That is the power of social media. Capacity building. What are you doing for yourself? Before thinking of relationship. Otherwise, you enter into marriage and then you become a burden. Trust me, the guy wouldn't respect you. You may end up becoming, a second wife, even though you are the first. Because there may be somebody who is supporting your husband. And so the attention of your husband will focus on that person, leaving you. Because you are a burden. Do not think of relationship now. Especially those of you secondary school graduates entering university. And then even those who have graduated. Okay, on national service. Bema. The national service, how much are you paid? 700 cedis. Oh, then you would have gone far. During that time, we were taking like 280 or so. 300, 280. So 700 cedis. You stay at Accra. How much do you consume in the day? Averagely, you spend about, 50 cedis. Let's assume. It is even not enough. But let's assume 50 cedis. And so 50 multiplying 30. You've spent more than half. And then you are seriously chasing the girl. I can take care of you. Which enumja is this? You can't take care of the girl. You get it? And so build yourself. Get something doing. And gradually the person would come for you. Be a certain Abigail, building herself up, waiting for better marriage. Do not rush into it. Because like I said earlier, your chances of going to heaven is dependent on the kind of marriage you get. If you make wrong decisions prior to your marriage, you'll have a wrong marriage. And if you don't take care, your life will be cut short, because there are some people who were abused. They are still being abused. They will continue to be abused in their marriage because they made the wrong choices. Look out for the red flags. But like I said, the red flags should be very material. Some of the red flags, they are two fantasies. They are immaterial to the success of the marriage. Sex packs, sex styles, ass, breast, shape, flat tummy, they don't add up. Look for the technical ones. Behavioral parts, character, attitude. What does the guy do? Which religion, which culture does the guy come from? There are some people, you go to their families and then they have vowed not to marry from a different culture. That is them. So ask your mom what she wants. Maybe growing up, your mom has even told you, some of your parents have told you. Yes. And how no one yet. They are equally good people in your. I don't entertain that where parents will be too decisive on the sort of culture background their kids should get married to. But once marriage involves two families, not even you, it's rather two families before you come. Satisfy the conditions for the family. Build yourself up, and you have a successful relationship leading to a successful marriage. On this note, I'll pause, and if there are questions, we would just take them and then find answers to them. Thank you very much. Feel free and ask your question. Right? We are not going to tag you by the question you ask. Feel free. There may be questions bothering your mind. Feel free and ask. Yes. Don't let me leave here so that you catch me outside. I won't answer. You catch me outside and you'll be like, also I wanted to ask this. Ask this now. I won't answer outside. My wife has told me I shouldn't engage people outside. Yes, also mommy.
Yeah, hello, thank you. So I want you to talk a little bit on submission and respect.
Submission and respect. As a matter of fact, one is the composite of the other. One is fused into the other. Any respectful person submits. However, the Bible has stated it too clear that women are supposed to submit. Is that not it? Good. Now, before your husband or your boyfriend loves you, cherishes you, or respects you, it should come with an action from you. I'm not saying being submissive is quote and unquote to act like a fool. No. My wife is very submissive, but then she is very clear when it comes to her decision. For her decision, forget. And so how well do you honor? Is it, let me put it this way. Among all the millions of men, you said, this is the person I have chosen him to rule me. That is the logic. And so you presented this man to your father. Daddy, going forward, I won't submit to you. I'm rather submitting to this man. And then the person becomes your husband. And so, which qualities did you observe from the man before you chose him? Performing your roles as a wife. You don't go and then be sharing roles. Traditionally, you've been trained how to perform your role as Oba. Is that not it? Yes. It is the reason when mommy is going to the kitchen, she calls you. That is your role. And so once you perform your roles diligently as a woman, if your husband is sensible enough, your husband would also reciprocate that level of you performing your role. My wife performed her role by washing her clothes, washing mine. And I realized that no, she suffers to do that. And so let me reciprocate by getting her a certain help. That is washing machine. Assuming konemi between ojins we de miss you kabana ko nsa kususi niema. You understand? So once you perform your roles well, and indeed, if you are sure that the husband you presented is sensible enough, he would surely reciprocate. He will give back what you are giving to him. And so once you submit, automatically you respect that person. And then your submissiveness and then your respect comes into play depending on the kind of husband you chose. There are a lot of men, but you decide to go in for this. It means that there are certain characteristics that you want to honor in him. So the man, the guy drinks. He has friends. They go out, they drink. You call him, and they'll be like, oh, I am here. Charlie, hey, could you open you? I ask you. You say it. You call the following morning, be like, hey, and the hangover. That is how they say it, right? Hangover, chime. Hey, and now once I have to was it. Listen, what you are doing is that, the guy eventually will become a drunkard. And do not someday run away. If they come to call you that the husband has fallen into the gutter, go and pick him. Because during your dating time, he told you that hangover channel was a and so automatically you want to respect a drunkard. So do not shy away from the fact that your husband becomes a drunkard because he showed that to you. So it is not during the marriage where you say, if you don't stop drinking, I will not submit. He won't stop. In fact, submissiveness doesn't come with warning. If you don't do this, I won't do this. If you don't do this, he won't do it. So you don't do it. Are we there? And so based on the roles you perform, automatically, naturally, the husband or your boyfriend will reciprocate. A follow-up.
So, what did the guys term as being submissive when? You get my question? Yeah. how do guys see submission? Like, what do we have to do for them to say that, okay, this lady is submissive or this lady
That is what I have
respects
said. Perform your roles.
me? What rules?
Your roles as a woman. A woman is supposed to take care of the home. Cleaning, mopping, washing, cooking. That is your roles. These are your roles. And then the role of the husband is supposed to financially provide for the family. Now, when the woman does her roles too well, it is then that you see the man leaving his financial obligation and then helping Oban in the kitchen. She called me that which food will I eat? And I told her, oh, I will do this. Do this for me. I came and realized that she's suffering. She's preparing the food. She's suffering. I would have to help her. But you asked me what I'll eat. And I told you what I'll eat. I say, you won't do it. You prepare anwamo. Okay, prepare the anwamo and then eat it yourself. And so once you perform your roles, we see you as a more submissive woman. You don't even need to talk. So you don't have to prove to the man that, me, I'm submissive, and then you'll be bending down. No, submissiveness is not about bending down. It's about you performing your assigned duties. So know your duties as Oba. Know your duties as Oba. You are to submit. When the submissiveness comes, you realize that the husband will even double the kind of love he has for you. What again do I want? If my wife literally does everything for me, which again do I want in a different woman? You go home and then your food is ready. You go to your wardrobe and then your clothes are well arranged. The house is clean. You go to the bathhouse, everything is intact. And so when I go to the bathhouse, knowing very well that Obana sees the bathhouse, I bathed and then I left the what do you call, the foam all over. It doesn't make me sensible. You get it? And so, upon seeing that the bathhouse is very clean, I use the bathhouse and then I am supposed to leave it as clean as it was. But I went to the bathhouse and it is as dirty as something. You think I will go and make it clean? You boarding house and fire. You be dreading. You get it? So once you perform your rules, submissiveness, it doesn't come with prayers. It doesn't come with you going to church. There are some men that they have vowed never to follow their wives to their church because they practice contrary to what they preach. Women are supposed to perform their roles. She goes home and then she wants to share her roles. And so, just be in your lane. As Oba, perform your assigned duties that were given to you by your parents. You observe your mothers. What do they do at home? Every Saturday, you see your mom washing your dad's clothes. And then you still want to say that is not your job as Oba. Now, it's whose job? That is what your mom has been doing. It is different where someday you see your dad helping your mom. It means that your mom might have done something that is worthy enough to gain the support of your father. But the normal, typical Ghana man, we have rules for a man, we have rules for a woman. Do you still have follow-up? Okay.
Okay, so we are growing up to be people that are going to be very influential. So let's say we get to a point in our lives where we are so busy that we have people that are going to help us do this kinds of work, like washing and cooking and doing all of those things. Where does submission come in like a setting like this, where we have people in the house, we have cooks, we have nannies, we have and cleaners and everything. How will my husband, as a wife? Okay. I mean, it's not like you are there, you are not doing it, but you get to a place where, because of your busy schedule, like you cannot do these things, and then people come in to help you do those things. So at that level where you are, how will your husband see that this lady is submissive?
Okay, good. That is a nice question. It means that she has money, and then the money is helping her employ workers to work on her behalf. Now, you didn't start the marriage with these workers. You began as the two of you. Is that not it? So at that time you began your marriage, where were the workers? They were no more, right? Good. So who was performing that roles? You. Good. So once you were performing that role, and for God's blessings, God has lifted you. Now my wife is all over, flying. I don't expect my wife to always be at home and be cooking fresh foods for me. We would just, agree. Okay, let us go in for a maid. That would help in the absence of my wife. However, the moment Oban comes, there are some women, they are very busy, irrespective of their busy schedules. When they come home and then daddy hasn't eaten, they take it upon themselves to serve their husbands. You get it? Yes. But if you are not doing it, God has lifted you. Of course, you didn't start as you being submissive. And so you being lifted, it doesn't come to me that if my wife was to be here, she would have done it. No. You didn't do it even when you were nobody. And so there's no way your husband would reciprocate. This is where most of the times you end up that the maid has taken over your position. There are a lot of people whose maid have taken over their positions as wives. Because prior to they getting maid, they were not performing those roles. And so getting a maid, and then the maid is performing the role, and they're performing it too well. The only role you want to perform is sex. Even with that, you give excuse. Hey, I'm tired. Don't you know that I'm coming from board meeting? Don't you know I'm coming from so and so meeting? So every day meeting. So who should perform that sexual role? Of course, your maid will take over. And so do not give excuse that because I am busy, I have gotten a maid, and that the maid is supposed to do everything. There may be sometimes in your days that you will be free. When you are free, try and perform the roles you left. That is why you are there. Marriage doesn't come with helpers, a maid. It doesn't come like that. The two of you made a vow to yourselves. And so the maid coming in is just coming to extend, a certain sort of help. So why is it that I should be performing all the roles as a helper? And then what will you do as the person who is supposed to perform that role? And so do not have it at the back of your mind that you are going in a relationship or in marriage to share roles. But there are some girls like that. That the Manuel view. What did you read? And you want to go to more. Every day, you will never be happy in your marriage. Try and perform that role so that the husband would show you that kind of love. Sometimes I was used to buying gifts for my wife. Now I'll go out, see something nice and I'll buy it for her. But, I was doing it when we were dating. Now, when we married, it changed. Yes, I went out, bought it for her, but this time around, he came with answers. So questions. Now, meanwhile, when we were dating, when we say, oh, I saw this, I bought it for, oh, thank you. But when we got married, oh, I bought you this. Hey, now, so, this price. Hey, and yes, you. So in marriage, she was more careful that I shouldn't be misusing the money. But when I was dating, she doesn't ask me. And so I did that because she was performing those roles. So why shouldn't I reciprocate that sort of roles or the respect she has given me? So do not go and then be sharing. That is not how we were trained as Christians. Our life should be examples to others. So as our marriage. And then somebody will come to your home and then also if mommy is watching TV and daddy is busily scrubbing bathhouse. How would you feel? You really will say, hey. So it means that the inverse is wrong. So don't go and then be sharing roles. Your ability to perform your role would help your husband to reciprocate that to you. And it would enhance your husband's love for you. I'm sure this answered. Any question? All right. So there are no more questions. Can we rise onto our feet and thank God for a session like this? Thank God for enlightening us to basic principles that are needed in order to help sustain our marriage. How do we get our fundamentals right? Yes, and sometimes you may be able to do all these. What if
Christ is my firm foundation, the rock on which I stand, when everything around me is shaking. I've never been more glad that I put my faith in Jesus, 'cause He's never let me down. His faith